Thank you for watching Murder, Monsters, and Mysteries. Today we take a look at Dancing Plague of Strasburg. Masses of people tumbled through the streets of Strasburg in that year, dancing towards their doom. Scholars still do not understand why. The occurrence began when several individuals started to dance through the streets of the city of Strasburg, which is now located in France. There was no parade. They'd contracted a strange and seemingly contagious compulsion to do so, and within weeks, swarms of residents were whirling through town. The dance dragged on, and soon, dancers started to drop dead. One account approximated that as many as 15 people died daily during the dance's peak, according to an article published in The Lancet. Though this story sounds insane today, the witnesses to these occurrences were already well acquainted with this dangerous dance. Indeed, several similar dancing manias and dancing plagues transpired in continental Europe throughout the medieval period, ensuring that these events were well within the era's realm of possibility. So, why did so many people stumble and sway without the ability to stop? These troubles in Strasbourg started in 1518, in July, when a woman thrashed through the streets over multiple days in the sweltering summer temperatures. She danced and danced without stopping, says Anderson University historian Lyneth Miller Renberg. As the woman writhed, the compulsions started to spread. Within a week, 20 to 30 individuals waltzed wildly through town, and within about a month, approximately 400 were caught in this continuous and uncontrollable dancing daze. They're pretty spectacular, Renberg says, who analyzed these odd circumstances and their cultural context in an article published in 2017. The chaos in the streets immediately prompted public officials to consult physicians to learn the contagion's cause and treatments. In accordance with the then popular humoral theory, they determined that the dancers had hot blood trapped in their bodies that forced them to move involuntarily. To remedy the issue, Renberg says, doctors advised that the dancers continue to twist and turn, all in an attempt to burn the bad blood away. The medical theory doesn't make any sense at all today, but it incorporated cutting-edge medical theories about the body at the time, Renberg says. This was an interesting moment in which we see several medical theories converging to try to explain something that seemed, even to them, inexplicable. To maintain their constant motion, the authorities moved victims towards the most spacious public places in town, including the guilds and the grain market, and sent musicians, minstrels, and other dancers to accompany them. They thought that this would help burn off the bad blood, Renberg says. But the compulsion continued to spread, capturing more and more victims, many of whom were stuck swaying until they ultimately collapsed from fatigue or died. City officials determined that then only direct divine intervention could cause such a serious situation. They believed that Saint Vitus, a Christian saint associated with dancing curses, caused these troubles. Ultimately, they prohibited all public dancing, collected the victims, and carted them to the closest shrine to Saint Vitus. There, they prayed and performed several rituals shrouded in mystery, and ultimately, the deadly dance subsided sometime in September. And now for a brief commercial break.
From the evil one, deliver me.
From the evil one, deliver me.
At the hour of my death,
At the hour of my death,
call me and bid me to come to thee.
call me and bid me to come to thee.
Give me the compass. If you don't, we'll take her eyes. We'll take your family's eyes. We'll make this whole town blind.
one, deliver me.
From the evil one, deliver me.
At the hour of my death.
At the hour of my death.
Probably should have come here first.
Come to thee.
Call me and bring me.
Although it had started in July. Those who witnessed the event widely accepted that paranormal agents such as saints, angels, and demons could cause dancing curses. People living back then had no doubt in their minds that God and Satan were active in their daily lives, says medical historian John Waller, author of A Time to Dance, A Time to Die, the extraordinary story of Dancing Plague of 1518. People in this region absolutely believed in St. Vitus's ability to issue this kind of curse. Though countless individuals believe in similar spirits and curses today, some scholars aren't satisfied with this reasoning and struggle to explain the occurrence. Several distinct theories swirl around the disaster. For example, some scholars suggest the people of Strasburg contracted ergotism, a condition that can cause hallucinations, twitches, tremors, convulsions, and incredible pain from fungus that was in their food. It's possible that the fungus behind ergotism is involved in several other historical hysterias, including the Salem witch trials, though this theory has lost much of its credibility. That theory is one of few which is absolutely untenable, Waller says. You simply can't dance if you're suffering from ergotism. The hypothesis also struggles to explain, according to Waller, why every dancer developed the same symptoms. Today, a much more popular premise is that people of Strasburg suffered from mass psychological illness, a condition involving strange conduct that spreads among a given population in response to stress. When you have the right beliefs and the high levels of despair and fear, then the dancing plague becomes possible, says Waller. In 1518, the people of Strasburg experienced some serious stress. Consecutive crop failures, famines, floods, and bursts of bubonic plague and syphilis caused sickness and starvation. According to both Renberg and Waller, alongside some strange astronomical activity, these woes seem to indicate an impending apocalypse. To make matters worse, peasant rebellions ravaged the area, and the rumblings of a coming religious reformation promoted pervasive anxiety and alarm. Things are spiraling out of control, Waller says. All of these factors, but particularly the harvest failures, are converging to mean that these people living in the region of Strasburg are under unimaginable psychological strain at the time. Yet, according to the mass psychogenic illness theory, trauma alone didn't compel those in Strasburg to flail through the town. In fact, this theory posits that the townspeople's stress and their palpable fear of curses combined to convince several individuals that they faced St. Vitus's contagion. They compulsively started to dance, Waller says, and soon spectators began swaying as well. If there is a pre-existing belief in the possibility of possession and curses, he says, then you are more likely to slip into a trance state. This theory focuses particular attention on the dancers' shared symptoms and addresses why the mania spread so thoroughly throughout Strasburg. According to Waller, the officials' initial response only intensified the mass psychogenic illness. The fact that the city authorities have people dance in the most public places in the city was an absolute disaster, Waller says. It ensured that anybody walking by who felt burdened by sin was far, far more likely to succumb to the dance. Though the context and the cause behind these dancing fits continue to mystify modern scholars, the story of Strasburg remains relevant, particularly as crop failures, floods, and pandemics continue to challenge us. It was the most extreme expression of how humans behave under extreme circumstances, says Waller. I think it's a really good reminder that how you break down, at a deep level, a reflection of your personal cultural setting. The townspeople of Strasburg had reported astronomical anomalies around this time. Maybe we could posit another theory. What if humanity is tied to the solar system, to the galaxy? We know that the moon can affect people's moods. Go to any police station, any hospital on a full moon, and they'll tell you to to expect a hectic evening. So what if there was something strange going on in our solar system? Something that affected the people on planet Earth? If this were the case, then it would be possible for the Dancing Plague to strike again in our lifetimes. Do we agree with Waller? Was this a psychological, psychogenic contagion of people falling into mass hysteria, or mass formation, as some modern psychiatrists call it? Or was there something else at play? Certainly it seems these people contracted a virus of the mind, which in turn affected their body all the way to their doom. Thank you for watching Murder, Monsters, and Mysteries. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe, as we'll be uploading more regularly.